Dear students, welcome to this session on language and linguistics. In the previous class, we have learned how to give a three-term labeling for vowels. Today, we will learn the further subdivisions of diphthongs, or how diphthongs are grouped into different categories. It's an easy portion. So let's begin with the first one. Falling diphthongs. So as I have told you earlier, a diphthong is a combination of two pure vowels. It includes two vowels. The tongue moves or glides from one vowel position to another vowel position. That's why the name diphthong, or gliding vowel, or a vowel glide. So there are different types of diphthongs, or we can group them under various heads, namely falling diphthongs, rising diphthongs, closing diphthongs, centering diphthongs, fronting diphthongs, and backing or retracting diphthongs. So as the very name suggests, this name is given according to the direction to which the tongue moves. If the tongue is moving towards a front vowel, it's called a fronting diphthong. If the tongue is moving towards a back vowel, towards the direction of a back vowel, then we call it a backing diphthong or a retracting diphthong. Okay? And if the pitch of the first vowel is higher, and if the pitch of the second vowel is lower, then it's a fall from a high pitch vowel to a low pitch vowel. So we call it a falling diphthong or a descending diphthong. Then rising diphthong. If the volume or the pitch of the first vowel is lower and the volume or the pitch of the second vowel is higher, then it moves from low to high. So it goes up. So we call it a rising diphthong or an ascending diphthong. And if the vowel glide or the tongue movement in a diphthong is towards that of a central vowel, we call it a centering diphthong. And if the movement of the tongue in a diphthong is towards a closed vowel, we call it a closing diphthong. So this is very easy to understand. The name itself gives you the clue. The tongue moves towards the position of a second vowel in every diphthong. So depending upon the nature of that second vowel, you name these diphthongs as fronting, backing, centering, closing, etc. Okay, so let's begin with the first one. Falling diphthong. Falling, something falls from somewhere, which means top to bottom. Therefore the name descending, something comes down. Okay, therefore the name falling diphthong or descending diphthong. I. So here the first vowel is A, which has a greater vowel quality, and the second one is rather feeble, or which has lesser prominence than the first one, I. So when it moved towards the second vowel, it was rather feeble or less prominent. Take the case E-Y-E. E-Y-E, I. So when I say A, it is having a high pitch or a high volume and a better vowel quality or prominence. And when it moves or glides towards, when the tongue glides towards the second vowel position, it's rather feeble or less prominent. Therefore, the pitch of the vowel or the vowel quality shifts from high to low. Okay, so therefore the name falling diphthong or descending diphthong, I. Is that clear to you? Okay. Now you can have a look at the second one, just opposite of falling diphthong. Rising diphthong. Rising means something goes from low to high, right? So here I've given the example yard. So think of this, y and a. So here y is rather feeble and a is of better vowel quality, right? So this diphthong begins from a vowel which is feeble or which has a less pitch or volume and less vowel quality, and then it moves towards a very prominent one, a vowel of a better quality or better pitch and volume. Yard. See? Yard. So this is an example of a rising diphthong or an ascending diphthong. You know the meaning of ascending, right? So a rising diphthong or an ascending diphthong is one in which the tongue starts from a vowel which is having less quality or less pitch, and it moves towards the position of another vowel which is having a better quality or a better pitch and volume. Yard. Is that clear to you? Okay. So we have dealt with falling diphthongs and rising diphthongs. Now we are moving to closing diphthongs. Closing diphthongs. So what can be inferred from the name closing diphthong? It's a diphthong in which the tongue moves towards the position of a closed vowel. So which are the two closed vowels in English? E and O. So all those diphthongs which move, or all those diphthongs during the production of which the tongue moves towards the position of a closed vowel, either E or O, we call them all closing diphthongs. There are altogether 5 closing diphthongs. The very name gives you the clue to understand the category. In this type of diphthong, the tongue glides or moves towards the position of a closed vowel. This closed vowel can be either E or O. So try reading them. I, A, I, then O and ow. I, A, I, then O and ow. So these are the closing diphthongs. Why the name closing diphthong? It's because the gliding of the tongue or the movement of the tongue is towards the position of the second vowel, that is the closed vowel. Therefore the name closing diphthong. And now we have another category. Easy to understand. A diphthong in which the tongue moves towards the position of a central vowel is called a centering diphthong. A centering diphthong. There are 3 centering diphthongs in English. The central vowel a. Here the glide of the tongue or the movement of the tongue is towards the position of the central vowel a. So ear, air and oor. These are the 3 centering diphthongs. Ear, air and oor. Centering diphthong. Why the name centering diphthong? It's because the movement or the glide of the tongue is towards the position of a central vowel a. Ear, oor and air. Now you have 2 more. Fronting diphthongs and backing diphthongs. So it's very easy to understand. When the tongue moves towards the position of a front vowel E, we call it a fronting diphthong. I, A and I. See, all these already appeared in the category closing diphthongs, because you should understand that E and O are 2 closed vowels in English. E and O are 2 closed vowels in English. So all those diphthongs which end in that closed vowel, those closed vowels either E or O, they belong to the common category called closing diphthongs. Among them 3 are fronting diphthongs. You know why? Because the tongue is moving towards the front vowel E. So this should be kept in mind. Fronting diphthongs are those in which the tongue moves or glides towards the position of the front vowel E. I, A and I. You can feel the position of the tongue or the tongue movement. I, A and I. All these are fronting diphthongs. And then you have backing diphthongs or retracting diphthong. Backing means going backwards, or retracting. Another name is retracting diphthongs. So the diphthongs during the production of which the tongue glides or moves towards the position of a back vowel oo. We call it backing diphthongs or retracting diphthongs. O and ow, no, and cow, now, etc. Okay, O and ow, they are backing diphthongs. So it's very easy to understand, but don't get confused. So we have discussed the categorizing of diphthongs today. The first one, falling diphthongs and rising diphthongs, based on the shift in the pitch of the vowel or the shift in the vowel quality. If the first vowel is of higher quality or pitch and it moves towards the second vowel which is of lesser quality or pitch, we call it a falling diphthong, as in the case of I. That is falling diphthong. The second one, rising diphthong. Here the first vowel is rather feeble or of less pitch or volume, and it moves towards the position of the second vowel which is rather prominent, as in the case of yard. E is rather feeble, and then it moves towards the position of the vowel A, which is prominent, better vowel quality. So that's an example of a rising diphthong. Yard. So falling diphthongs and rising diphthongs. Then we came across closing diphthongs and centering diphthongs. Closing diphthongs, there are 5. Those diphthongs during the production of which the tongue is gliding or moving towards the position of the closed vowels, either E or U. We call them closing diphthongs. Then centering diphthongs. 3 centering diphthongs are there. Those diphthongs during the production of which the tongue is gliding towards the central vowel position, that is A. We call them centering diphthongs. And finally we came across fronting diphthongs and backing diphthongs. If the tongue gliding is from one vowel position to that of a front vowel, I, A, Oi, then we call it fronting diphthong. But if the tongue's glide is from one vowel position to the position of a back vowel like O, Ow and all, we call it a backing diphthong or a retracting diphthong. So I hope you have clearly understood the categorizing of diphthongs. As I told you, keep a notebook, keep your textbook along with you, read it once or twice, watch the video again and again, and make it thorough. Thank you.